I'm Christopher German for KCTV News for Monday, November 17th, 2025. For tonight's broadcast, the stories we're following for you. The U.S. Justice Department filed an emergency motion late Sunday with the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals asking to maintain control of the Oregon National Guard. And a juvenile humpback whale, estimated to be about 25 feet long, has stranded on the Oregon coast, and scientists aren't hopeful that the young whale will, in fact, make it. And looking ahead to tomorrow morning, lows will be chillier. Eastside lows will fall into the lower 30s and 20s. The forecast indicates a dry stretch from Tuesday through the day on Wednesday. Now make sure you tune in every morning for weather from the Skywatch Weather Center, with weather from the Klamath Basin for the Klamath Basin. And tonight's news is brought to you by...
The season of giving and winning is here at Klamath Casino. Join us for Gobbler's Gold drawings and win up to $750 cash. Earn kitchen favorites on our Sunday Delights kiosk. Reap your rewards on Thursday with Harvest Time hot seats for up to $250 cash. Take home up to $500 cash in our Harvest Celebration slot tournaments. Plus on Veterans Day, all active and retired military receive $20 free play, our way of saying thank you. Klamath Casino, where winning comes naturally.
Our top story, the U.S. Justice Department filed an emergency motion late Sunday with the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, asking for a full stay or a hold on U.S. District Judge Karen J. Immergut's permanent injunction. This injunction, issued on November 7th, blocked the federal mobilization and deployment of National Guard troops from any state to Oregon, a ruling that Immergut issued after a 3-day trial where she found the president did not have a lawful basis to federalize the Guard. The federal attorney's emergency motion argues that Judge Immergut failed to give the president sufficient deference on his military judgment and wrongly downplayed the dangerous conditions at the ICE building in Portland, where nightly protests have occurred since June. They contend that the conditions outside the facility warrant the deployment and that the president's determination was plainly lawful. As an alternative to a full stay, the Trump administration lawyers urged the appeals court to grant a brief administrative stay by November 21st. This would allow the continued federalization of the Oregon National Guard members while the appeal is heard, which they argue would maintain the status quo and cause the state no meaningful harm. Brigadier General Kerry L. Perez, in a sworn declaration, supports the urgency, stating that demobilizing the Oregon National Guard on the November 21st deadline set by Immergut would cause logistical and financial hardships for the soldiers. Despite the Defense Secretary's intent to extend their federalization beyond November 26th, this emergency motion, in the latest development in legal back and forth since Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth mobilized 200 Oregon Guard troops into federal service on September 28th to protect the ICE facility. The motion was filed as 200 federalized California National Guard troops sent to Oregon on October 5th, but never deployed, are reportedly expected to be pulled out of Oregon and head home. Furthermore, a defense official stated that the number of Oregon National Guard members remaining in federal service is set to be reduced to 100. The 9th Circuit Court of Appeals is now tasked with ruling on this emergency request for a stay on the permanent injunction. And the Klamath County Board of Commissioners has canceled multiple meetings scheduled for this week, running from November 17th through November 21st. However, 2 meetings are still confirmed for today, Monday, November 17th, at the Government Center's Room 214 in Klamath Falls. The BOCC executive session is set to begin at 8:30 a.m. this morning, followed immediately by the BOCC County Council public meeting, which is scheduled for approximately 9 a.m. this morning. The agenda for the public meeting includes a call to order, those present, other county business, and adjournment meetings that have been canceled by the BOCC, including the business meeting and the administrative meeting, both originally scheduled for Tuesday, November 18th, as well as the executive session, legal and human resource meeting, and work session, all originally planned for Wednesday, November 19th. The Klamath County Planning Commission meetings remain scheduled to proceed tomorrow. Tuesday, November 18th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in Government Center, Room 219. Agendas for all the confirmed meetings are publicly available on the Klamath County website. And Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield announced a major settlement with Florida-based real estate company MV Realty, which allegedly trapped nearly 700 Oregon homeowners in deceptive 40-year homeowner benefit agreements. The contracts gave MV Realty exclusive rights to list consumers' homes for decades, often in exchange for only a few $100s, and allowed the company to file liens that blocked families from refinancing, selling, or accessing the equity in their properties. Attorney General Rayfield stated that the scheme took advantage of Oregonians who were seeking a little financial breathing room. The settlement mandates that MV Realty release all 669 active homeowner benefit agreements and associated liens on Oregon properties no later than December 5th, 2025, restoring full ownership rights. The company must provide proof of release to both the Oregon Department of Justice and each property owner within 10 days of each filing. MV Realty also agreed to pay the Oregon Department of Justice $150,000 in monthly installments, with $60,000 of that amount waived if 9 timely payments are made. An additional $500,000 payment is suspended due to MV Realty's demonstrated inability to pay. The DOJ noted that if MV Realty had enforced its early termination fees, homeowners would have faced over $7.9 million in penalties, which is more than 10 times the cash MV Realty initially paid them. Furthermore, the company has agreed it has no remaining claim or interest in any Oregon consumer property and will not seek the return of any promotional payments. And Oregon lawmakers have returned to Salem to address a projected $373 million deficit for the current 2-year budget period, a shortfall that emerged after a federal tax law change automatically reduced state revenues. All state agencies were asked to propose plans for a 5% cut to their legislatively approved budgets to help mitigate the gap. The deficit is primarily due to the state's tax code automatically adopting changes from a recent federal law, which erased a previous budget cushion of nearly $500 million. Legislative budget writers have characterized the upcoming spending choices as painful, as proposals include shrinking initiatives for career and technical education, STEM programs, and potentially cutting public health outreach, funding for doctors in underserved communities, and medical marijuana programs. Many agencies are attempting to cover the required reductions by delaying the hiring of new staff and keeping open positions vacant to avoid immediate service losses. But lawmakers are bracing for substantial cuts across vital areas like education and human services. This marks the first time since the 2008 recession that Oregon schools have had to prepare for a mid-year budget changes, with leaders urging the legislatures to consider using the state's Educational Stability Fund to soften the impact. And Oregon's program designed to help eligible seniors and disabled homeowners by having the state cover their property taxes in exchange for a 6% annual interest lien on their property is experiencing a sharp decline in use. Although the state's dispersed over $11.5 million in property taxes for more than 3,800 individuals in 2024, the number of participants has fallen significantly since the 2010s. Multiple factors are contributing to the program's low and decreasing enrollment. A stricter qualification process was put in place after a financial crisis impacted the program around 2011. As the Oregon legislature tightened eligibility rules, income limitations also play a role. The annual household income cap for the 2025-26 tax year is set at $60,000. Despite periodic increases, this threshold often excludes seniors who own valuable homes but have limited liquid assets, especially with the state's escalating living expense. Property value limitations further restrict access, as a home's real market value cannot exceed 100% of the county's median residential value. With Oregon rapidly appreciating real estate market, the criterion also increasingly renders many homeowners ineligible. Concerns about the repayment structure and the lien placed on the property act as a significant deterrent for many seniors. The awareness that the state-paid taxes plus interest must be repaid when the home is sold, ownership changes, or the homeowner passes away creates apprehension. Additionally, a lengthy residency requirement mandates that applicants must have owned and continuously lived in their home for a minimum of 5 years. And a nationwide outbreak of infant botulism linked to ByHeart Whole Nutrition infant formula has prompted a major product recall, with at least 2 cases now reported in Oregon. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention are investigating the multi-state outbreak, which has sickened over 20 infants across 13 states. All infected infants were hospitalized, but no deaths have been reported so far. The 2 Oregon cases are included in this total. Key points for the parents and caregivers. Total recall. ByHeart has voluntarily expanded its recall to include all batches of its whole nutrition infant formula cans and anywhere pack pouches nationwide. Actions required from parents and caregivers should immediately stop using all ByHeart formula products and dispose of them or return them for a refund. Symptoms: infant botulism is rare but serious illness. Symptoms can take several weeks to develop, including constipation, poor feeding, loss of head control, difficulty swallowing, decreased facial expression, and a weak or altered cry. And seek care if your infant consumed this formula and is showing any of these symptoms. Seek immediate medical attention. The FDA has noted that ByHeart brand formula is disproportionately represented in the outbreak cases, despite accounting for only an estimated 1% of U.S. infant formula sales. The company produces the powdered formula in Iowa and ships it to a facility in Portland, Oregon for canning and distribution. FDA inspectors have visited the Portland plant as part of the ongoing investigation. And Regina Jackson has filed for Klamath County Clerk today as a reprise to her run for Klamath County Commissioner. Jackson ran against Andrew Nichols for the county commissioner's seat last year, but lost. In her bid to challenge Daniel Beard for the office, she says candidates should not make a career of holding office. They should serve for a time and then go back to their lives as citizens. Jackson expressed gratitude for the current county clerk, Rochelle Long, saying that Long has run a very tight operation with a very small staff. She says she has the highest esteem for Long and feels that she has some very big shoes to fill. Jackson has been shadowing the clerk for the last 3 months to acquaint herself with the position. However, the role of clerk has a great many hats to wear, from county and town elections to marriage licenses and a myriad of other duties. But Jackson says it's all a state accountable office and that it has its limitations. For example, the clerk can't just determine that elections have to be in person. Jackson wants to use the position to educate and inform the public about the inner workings of county government. She says she plans to create a program where kids can learn about the electoral process and voting, and she wants to host mock elections to inspire children to get involved in county politics. And ODFW has issued an urgent warning for waterfowl hunters and visitors to the Barnes unit of the Upper Klamath National Wildlife Refuge following the detection of exceptionally high levels of microcystin in a water sample. Microcystin is a potent cyanotoxin produced by certain harmful algal blooms. Exposure to this toxin can cause acute liver damage in people and is often fatal to dogs. The contaminated sample was collected from an area that is currently open for waterfowl hunting during the 2025-26 season. ODFW is providing the following safety reminders. Avoid contact. People and pets should steer clear of water that shows signs of contamination, such as being scummy, discolored, or containing visible algal mats. Protect pets. Dogs are extremely vulnerable and must be kept away from affected water. Owners should also prevent dogs from licking wet fur after any exposure. Hunter precautions. Hunters should not use contaminated water for cleaning gear or for handling harvested birds. In dogs, symptoms can include vomiting, diarrhea, weakness, and seizures. In people, symptoms can involve stomach pain, nausea, vomiting, or liver complications. And the United Way of the Klamath Basin, in partnership with local community leaders, is actively seeking volunteers for its Bridges to Belonging initiative. This program is dedicated to finding community-driven solutions to address the pressing issue of senior homelessness within Klamath County. Community members interested in volunteering for this crucial effort should contact the United Way of Klamath Basin directly. Prospective volunteers can reach the office by phone at 541-882-5558 or send an email to info@uwkf.org to express their interest or to RSVP for upcoming discussions. Those who prefer in-person contact can visit the local office at 136 North 3rd Street in Klamath Falls, Oregon. By connecting with the organization, individuals can learn more about specific volunteer roles, meeting schedules, and how their unique skills and time can contribute to developing local solutions and fostering a sense of belonging for seniors experiencing homelessness in the region. And a live juvenile humpback whale, estimated to be about 25 feet long, has stranded near Yahats on the Oregon coast. The marine mammal experts have determined its chance of survival is extremely low. The whale came ashore Saturday afternoon, initially entangled in lines from a crab pot, which was largely removed by well-meaning bystanders overnight. Despite the efforts of local volunteers who worked through the night to keep the animal wet and try to push it out against the surf, the whale remains caught in the shallow waves. Officials from NOAA Fisheries and the Marine Mammal Stranding Network are on the scene, having set up a perimeter to keep onlookers back, as approaching the animal is dangerous and a violation of the Marine Mammal Protection Act. Experts from the Oregon State University Marine Mammal Institute stated that once a large whale comes ashore, its prognosis is super slim because it likely stranded due to an underlying injury or illness. And the massive weight of its body out of the water can cause internal organ damage. Trained and federally authorized veterinarians are currently assessing the whale and are considering euthanasia as a humane option if rescue efforts fail and the animal cannot be saved. Scientists have emphasized that even if the whale does die, a necropsy will provide valuable data for marine science. And on Saturday, Klamath Union High School's culinary team participated in the inaugural Southern Oregon High School Kitchen Clash at Phoenix High School. The event transforms the high school into a culinary battleground featuring 12 teams from 5 Southern Oregon high schools: Ashland, Eagle Point, Klamath Union, North Medford, and Phoenix, in a one-day competitive showcase of skill and creativity. The competition requires student teams to prepare a 3-part plate consisting of a protein, a vegetable, and a starch. Judges, including chefs from the Oregon Coast Culinary Institute, will score the entries based on technique, flavor, and presentation. The event was designed to highlight career and technical education programs and their role in helping students pursue professional culinary pathways, blending local agricultural roots with modern cooking techniques. The day culminated in an awards ceremony and community tasting event. And Klamath Falls is set to host a trio of engaging community events in the coming weeks, offering residents opportunities for sports, festive fun, and holiday music. The Klamath County Chamber Night at Oregon Tech men's basketball is scheduled for Wednesday, November 19th at 7:30 p.m., taking place at the Oregon Tech Danny Miles Court. The Klamath County Chamber of Commerce is partnering with Oregon Tech for this event, and free tickets are available for pickup on a first-come, first-served basis at the Klamath County Chamber office. Looking ahead to December, the annual holiday-themed Ugly Sweater Fun Run 5K will kick off on Saturday, December 6th at 9 a.m. The run walk welcomes all ages, abilities, and even costumed pets, starting from Harbor Links Golf Course, located at 601 Harbor Isle Boulevard. This event serves as a fundraiser for the Friends of the Children of the Klamath Basin, and interested participants can register on Run Sign Up event page. Finally, the Ragtag Holiday Concert will bring musical cheer to the Ross Raglan Theater on Wednesday, December 10th at 6 p.m. This concert will feature performances by 2 local children's choirs, the Ragtags, grades 4 through 6, and the Ragtagalongs, grades 1 through 3, showcasing their choral talents during this festive season. Now let's take a look at the weather, shall we? Rain and higher elevation showers are expected to taper off tonight, with the entire region likely to be dry by tomorrow morning. Clouds and low clouds are anticipated to develop into the Klamath Basin. Looking ahead to tomorrow morning, lows will be chillier. Eastside lows will fall into the lower 30s and 20s. The forecast indicates a dry stretch from Tuesday through the day on Wednesday. Morning valley fog and clouds could be stubborn in some locations. Wednesday morning will be rather cold, with lows potentially dropping low enough for frost and even a freeze conditions. Close monitoring will be needed, as fog and cloud development could prevent lows from reaching such low temperatures. The next storm system is set to arrive on Wednesday night into Thursday, bringing with it the chance for more rain and higher elevation snow. Following this system, the region should see a fairly quiet stretch of weather through the rest of the week and into the upcoming weekend. Temperatures are expected to increase slightly, making the overall week feel much more seasonal. Based on current data for the Klamath Falls area, the forecast for tomorrow, Tuesday, is a high of 50 degrees and a low of 31. And that's it for us for today, so tune in and get your views counted only at KCTV. And make sure you hit that subscribe button to KCTV on your favorite platforms. And make sure you log on to klamathcommunity.tv for the latest news, weather, lifestyle news, sports, including these daily stories posted. And you'll find these exclusively on the KCTV news page. So for KCTV News, I'm Christopher German. It is Monday. You made it to another week start. And, we're going to have a little bit of rain on Wednesday evening. And other than that, it's going to be a pretty nice week to be outside, I think. Busy weekend. Lots of news came out on this weekend. So I covered it all tonight. I hope that you enjoyed what I had. We're coming into the Christmas holiday season, and so we're going to have a lot more events happening around the area, and we're going to, we got parades to watch, we've got gift giving opportunities, we have all kinds of amazing things happening because Christmas is a huge time here in the Klamath County area. And everybody gets out and enjoys these wonderful events that we have around here. So I will keep you posted as to all the events because I got a big schedule of things I have to do through the next month or month and a half, actually, because we have it's going to be like chock-a-block with all kinds of amazing news stories about events and stuff that are going on around here. So this is going to be changing the method we do for this a bit. But this week we have a couple of interesting stories coming out. I'm going to head over to Christian Cross Point tomorrow to talk about their expansion. They're going to be expanding the school over there. And I also have to go visit with Joyce Furlong, who is going to be trying to recall the gas tax initiative that Governor Kotek signed into law. So I got to head over there at noon tomorrow. So we'll have a couple videos as this week goes on. And as always, if you have any news tips, if you have anything you want to see on this news, send me an email at info@klamathcommunity.tv, and I will be certain to inquire further about it, because I'm always looking for news and I'm always looking to tell stories about, Klamath County. So thanks for watching today. God bless you for watching. God bless you for paying attention. Thank you for acknowledging this channel and for playing along. And we'll see you guys again for tomorrow, which is Tuesday. And I'm Christopher German in the KCTV News Center, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Good night.